Pleased to meet you. This is Fixed and Folded, the knife review channel for the casual knife collector. I'm Cody. Tommy is licking his arm on the kitchen counter. I guess I should show you who he is for people that... There's Tommy. In case you thought Tommy was a human being all weird. He's a cat being all weird. Today I'm going to review the full-size Artisan Cutlery Caruso folding knife in titanium and S90V. Caruso is a new release made in China by Artisan Cutlery, and it's a very good knife. Price is around $280 Canadian on Blades Canada, and for that you get some what do we call that? Contoured titanium with some diamond pattern with, I would call that medium texture for traction on this side, and an aggressive finger groove to place your finger there, so to prevent it from sliding forward or back during piercing or withdrawing. And on the other side, you also get texturing and a titanium pocket clip, which is not center, it's actually high up. And to me, it's comfortable. I mean, yeah, it has dimensions, so I can feel it in my palm, but it's not a hot spot. And I like the position. What I like about that positioning is that because this is a frame lock, my fingers rest against this pocket clip to provide leverage for me to open it either with the meat of my thumb here or doing a nail flick. And because this is out of the way of the frame lock, my fingers don't press against the frame lock and keep it shut. And so this is good to keep my fingers out of the way so that it opens easily. And also because the handle is thick, and I mean it is blocky, but it's rounded, so it's comfortable blocky. I really don't mind the position of this clip in terms of ergonomics. Yeah. So would it be just as easy to open if the pocket clip was in the middle and I put my fingers on there? Yeah, it might not be too big of a deal if it was placed in the middle. So really it just comes down to what I don't know. I don't know that it would necessarily be better to be placed in the middle in this case with the frame lock design. I really don't mind because my fingers, when they're pushing up against the clip, they're out of the way and you can easily open it. So this is a non-issue for me where that is placed up high. The clip itself is not a full deep carry. It's going to carry like this, so you're going to have some material poking out of your pocket, and it's not really enough to grab onto, so maybe Artisan could have done a full deep carry, or even alternatively have more space for you to grab onto. It's going to be like that, so you decide if that's ideal for you or not. The weight of the knife is medium for a full-size knife that this is. You do have some milled out circles that are milled into the titanium that do not poke out the side, so they look really cool. On the show side, and then on the frame lock side, you have some smaller holes. see the bigger ones there. And that does help reduce weight. Titanium is lighter than steel also. And you got a big chunky S90V blade that's thick, but it feels really nice. It's a nice weight, medium to light even. The only jimping is this really fine filed jimping along the back of the blade, and then once it's closed, the jimping wraps a little bit down here. Maybe just for looks, but also in theory, people can do like a thumb flick. I've seen people that review it doing a thumb flick, but the detent is strong on this, so I cannot open it with my thumb. And there's issues with that, legitimate issues, that people that want to top flick it, that because of the way that the handle is designed, they say that as it swings open, that this pinches their thumb here. Yeah, I can see that being a problem for people that want to deploy it like that. I don't even want to, the detent is so strong, I don't even want to try that. And when I use the thumb studs, either using the meat or thumb flick, then, it works great. This must be on ceramic bearings, because it's extremely, that's a word I'm inventing, extremely smooth. It's just, yeah, extremely smooth to open and close. But it does have a stiff detent, initial detent to overcome. And when you're opening it, you want to follow this sort of line up, like in this direction with your thumb, like push up in this up diagonal direction. The thumb flick, or use the meat. Otherwise, like if you're going to kind of go straight out or straight up, it's not going to open because it's a strong detent, initial detent. I like the design of this handle, including this top part, including this, because I have extra large hands and I rest my finger just almost on the top there to open it. So this actually provides extra length on the handle for me to get leverage with my finger to open it. Whereas if this was rounded, I might not have as much leverage to rest my finger on here and then push my fingers against the clip and then use this. So I like this extended back of the handle for me, for my big hands. You can see I rest my finger right at the top there when I'm opening and closing it. So it just provides a bit of extra handle length that I find useful for me. So yeah, I'm glad that Artisan Cutlery did that for me. Yeah, it's a full-size handle. I think that with gloves, I could also fit this on with my extra large hands, 3.5 inches the fingers and 4 inches at the palm. Ergonomics are excellent. No hot spots. And I love that it's been contoured around. No hot spots in the inside of the handles. It's been rounded. And this texture provides enough traction, or there's enough of a texture to provide extra traction for gripping. And the most secure design for grip of the handle is here in the finger area, your index finger area there. That's really locks it in. And just the width of it. This is a thick handle, even thicker than this extra large Spartan Horsey, which is thick. This is even a little bit thicker. So and blade thickness is comparable. It's about equal. The blade thickness is equal on these knives. So this is a robust design. Uh, I guess in the little blurb that Artisan, the description of the knife, the designer wanted to design, like a potential fantasy one knife to survive on an island with, or whatever. What would it be? And this is what he came up with: a knife that's going to be thick, robust, really good edge retention on this S90 blade, um, and just durable, and but also multi-use capable. Like, the blade design is a sort of a modified harpoon shape, almost a simplified harpoon shape. Closest knife I have to that is the Sencut Actium, which is a harpoon shaped blade, and you can see some resemblance here, can't you? This is a hollow grind, and this is a high flat grind. This one's designed more for durability. Good slicing, edge, cutting edge out of the box, evenly done. It's probably a 30-degree edge, so it's a balance of cutting and durability. It does slice receipt paper well, and it does pierce well. So that's a good performing blade. It's a good balance of durability and cutting performance. But then you add S90V blade steel, and that's excellent edge retention. And so you're adding that durability to the design with that blade steel. You're not going to need to sharpen this very often. And it is a stainless steel, so this uncoated satin blade is not going to be a big issue for corrosion, but you still, any knife, unless it's something like 10 out of 10 corrosion resistance, when it gets wet, just when you got some free time, dry it off. So implementation of design in terms of efficiency, practicality. This isn't going to be a laser beam slicer. It's just too thick. It's but it does. Come on, dude. It does slice well for being a tanky, durable knife. Hand comfort is excellent. This jimping is very fine, to the point where it doesn't provide meaningful traction. It's more of just a finger reference. If it's like pitch dark and you can't see, or you've been blinded by sand from a zombie that throws sand at you, and you want to do a secure thumb forward grip, maybe, then you can use this as braille, as like thumb reference. Really, this doesn't provide meaningful traction, but this does. So you're going to be fine for secure grip for piercing and withdrawing and push cutting and slicing, because of the blockiness, because of this finger area. Your hand grip will be secure. So you don't really need like a ramped thumb area here. You just don't need it. So this is, I would call this a design, like almost just for aesthetics, like a high-endy, fancy design choice more than meaningful traction. You don't need it. Yeah, at a price of about $280 Canadian for these materials. Great value, of course. Made in China. They sacrifice. The trade-off is that the employees work really long hours for low pay. So that's your moral choice you're making by paying a low price for high quality. Is labor costs, compensation is low in China in this case. But you're getting a really high quality knife at a low price. I'll do a size comparison here and show you where this fits with other knives. Okay. And so at the bottom here, you got these medium-sized knives, Benchmade Bug Out, Spyderco Paramilitary 3, and then you go up to larger handle area and some longer blade length with the Civivi, is this Civivi? No, QSP Ripley, and the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. This is the same. This is about the same. This is a full size. Hand real estate here for your hand is about the same as the Ripley and the PM2. So this will fit up to XL hand with gloves. Blade length is comparable to these also. And then you go up a size category for handle length to the Civivi Vexillion and the Spartan Harsey. These I'd consider extra large size, where even if you have double XL hands, you're going to be able to fit on these handles, and blade length is going to be a bit longer also. So this is a true full size in terms of overall length, but you're getting a beefy handle, which feels really secure and in hand. So this is meant to be a tanky, survivally, one knife option knife, and it achieves that. It achieves that. So out of 10, what am I going to rate this? Is there anything I don't like about this? People might think that this design is too plain. I don't think that. I think I like simple looking knives anyway. I don't like flashy, loud knives. I like knives that I'm going to use that are kind of understated. That's just my style. I like understated, simple. So this is not too plain for me. I love this design. And for the price of $280 Canadian, the materials you're getting, the craftsmanship, the implementation of design, blade perfectly centered out of the box. The grind angle is even on both sides, a tiny bit off looking at the final edge, or looking from the top, but it's not going to affect performance, and it's so minor that I'm not going to deduct any score off of that. Yeah, I mean, I got to give this a 10 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10 knife. Yeah, if I were to have a one knife option to take with me with my big hands, this would be one of the top contenders. Other option might be Spartan Harsey, but it's in that category. Yeah, it's in the same category of tanky, all around large, full size knife for someone with large hands. Yeah, so if you have big hands and this knife interests you, then you're probably not going to be disappointed with it. You might not like that this rides up high on the handle. It's just, it might bother you just because it's something that most people aren't used to. They're used to the clip being in the middle. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me. So yeah, other than that, you're probably not going to have any issues with this knife. It's just comfortable and useful and all aroundy. I guess something to just note is that almost all of my knives, maybe even the bug out, no, not the bug out, but almost all of my knives, when I release it, I can kind of do it single-handed and let the blade drop, and there's usually enough of a space here that it can just drop and on my thumb, and the blade won't cut it. This doesn't have an area that can do that, so I can't do that. It will actually go right into my thumb. Like an example, I mean, Paramilitary 2, right? It has this extra area that when I released, this is not a good example because it's not a liner lock, it's a compression lock. But even if I were to compression lock it and drop it, it can drop onto my thumb safely. I'll give you an example. I think Spartan Harsey can do this. I mean, it can. I can let it drop and this unsharpened area will land on my thumb and won't cut me. Whereas this one, I can't do a one-handed and just let it drop because the blade's going to cut me. But that's just the design of it. It's kind of, not a great idea to let the blade drop on your thumb anyway, because If you don't have it up all the way, if you have it back a bit, then it's going to cut you anyway. So it's not a good habit to get into, and I'm not going to take points off of that. The way that I tend to release knives is up, like upside down. So if I'm going to do it one-handed, then you just have more control, right? You not have gravity dropping the blade on you, and then you can, once your fingers are out of the way, you can drop it this way. So just, yeah, that's the only thing worth mentioning is that this is up here. It might be, it won't be uncomfortable, but it might annoy some people. And then also this isn't a free dropping blade onto your thumb because the sharpened part's going to hit your thumb. But it's just an outstanding design. So 10 out of 10. Okay, that concludes my review of the Artisan Cutlery Caruso in titanium and S90V. Have a great night, and I will talk to you again soon.